The Red Dirt D&D podcast is brought to you by Pro Laser Cuts. The Oklahoma company provides pre-made and customizable design laser cut dice towers, tokens, and more, developed by a gamer for gamers, and now available to enhance your tabletop game. Pro Laser Cuts products can be found at many Oklahoma City area game stores, local events, and now available online at prolasercuts.com. That's laser and cuts with a Z, Pro Laser Cuts. And by SD Way Gaming, where dice goblins unite. Our friends at SD Way Gaming celebrate the beautiful dice players handpick for their games and splendor. SD Way Gaming has expanded to include many tabletop gaming varieties, accessories, and similar fun necessities to include a service for your dice addiction. You can shop for a variety of products at sdwaygaming.com or find SD Way Gaming on Facebook. Welcome to Red Dirt D&D. I'm Michael Cross, and I play Elias Stone, a human cleric.
I'm Connor Shenold. I play Sable, a half-elf rogue.
I'm Johnny Payne, and I play August E. Graymore, a human fighter.
I'm Carrie Hester, and I play Moxie, a tiefling bard.
And I'm Brooke Bullock, your DM. Please join us as we explore the curse of the Clockwork City. In the Clockwork City of Ironspire, the past is ever present. Intertwined with the arcane and mundane is a time of powered steam and gears and the relentless drive of ingenuity. The recent rain has cleared the airs of the thick smells of industry. Now, only the lingering scent of a salt sea and a faint growing scent of fish permeates your nostrils as four characters making their way down the city streets toward the docks. During the day, the sounds of the dock are a complex symphony with a rhythmic hiss of steam and the clatter of metal gears, maybe the deep hum of a steam engine, and the occasional hiss and pop of some arcane electrical menagerie of a current running through exposed wires. Now, the city is quiet as we come into 3 or 4 hours after sunset. Four characters, August E. Graymore, Moxie, Sable, and Dr. Elias Stone, are on a mission toward the waterfront to rescue kidnapped children from the hands of treacherous people with ridiculous names. Boo and Giggles, the perpetrators of violence against an unknown number of children. And who amongst you would like to be in charge of fate and roll percentile die for me?
I'll do it. 55.
What's our party order as we're kind of walking down the street?
Moxie and I are familiar with the dock area.
Yeah, this is my
So
neighborhood.
we're leading.
100%. Everyone roll perception for me.
24.
21.
Roll worse than me, Johnny. What'd you get?
6.
Oh, good. I got a 12.
Perhaps August E. Graymore is looking the other way, but as you guys pass a particular side street, you happen to see a man walking alongside what appears to be an automaton type figure that is holding and pulling a small cart draped by a tarp over the top of it. Elias, you happen to hear a sound of a child's voice, but you certainly don't see any children.
I'm hearing a sound of a child's voice somewhere around here. Do you guys hear that?
Listening in a little more, do I hear it?
Yeah, with your 21, it was just there for a moment. There's a small wagon, this cart, that's got two handles, and this automaton is like pulling the cart behind it. And then this man that's walking there with the automaton.
Are you there?
The man down the street, probably maybe like 30, 40 feet away down this side street. And the man stops, the automaton and the cart keep rolling. He seems to be dressed in some decent finery and has a very sour look on his face. There's a street lamp that is just enough light for him to be in shadow that your human eyes can see him. He scowls at you and then turns around and starts continuing to walk again.
August turns to Sable, points off in a direction, and does a circle motion with his hand.
Yeah, I'll kind of watch August's motions and slip away. Could I do a stealth?
Yeah, of course.
22 stealth.
Okay, very good.
I'm going to walk. Good man.
And this guy turns around again and says, "Leave me alone, we're on business."
What business is that?
I'm a merchant, obviously. I'm taking things from the dock.
Maybe my friends and I are up for buying something. Show me your wares.
Why don't you just bugger off?
I'm going to reach up and just tighten my gloves, very obviously. I think not today, friend.
And then you see this guy pull a hand crossbow off of his belt and lock it and load it. "I don't want no trouble. You need to get on with your business and I'll get on with mine."
I know that Sable's about to come around the corner. Moxie's not going to step in between them, but she's going to take a step forward. Would I, knowing this kind of area and the movings and breathings of the city, this is weird, right? That he's hauling this cart at this time of day. Other than him, the streets seem pretty empty.
And our companion said he heard children.
Did I hear it from the wagon?
It came down this street somewhere, muffled, but enough that you could hear it. And to answer your question real quick, the thing that seems odd about it is that someone dressed with a little bit of fashion would be out at this time.
That he's doing it himself. He wouldn't just have like a dude.
Right.
All right, fellas, we don't need to resort to violence. I have better things to do with my time. But listen, this neighborhood, it's not you work here. It's not a good neighborhood. There's been some misdeeds about, and some robberies have been happening. We aren't trying to rob you, to be clear. But we wanted you to be, and she's just gonna kind of ramble and try to stall until Sable does whatever Sable's doing.
You started us off when we were 30 or 40 feet away, and I was walking while I'm talking the whole time.
And they're continuing to kind of walk and move. At least the automaton in the cart is. So now maybe instead of at the front of the cart, the guy with the hand crossbow is at the back of the cart, maybe 10 feet or so.
And then
past.
I'm gonna say, we're actually looking for a friend of ours who we hear has set up shop here in the neighborhood. Kind of a smaller guy, goes by the name Boo. Have you heard of him?
Roll me a perception check.
To see if he makes a face.
As a tiefling, you have some dark vision, yeah?
Yeah.
How dark is this area?
And it's dim light.
Okay, good.
There's a street light down about 50 feet away.
Good.
Just another 12, so not a great perception.
Has the cart moved past that opposite alleyway yet?
It's very, very close. They're about even with it now, but not quite past it yet. And yeah, in just a moment, you'll be able to come up there. Maybe it's been a long day. Maybe he just doesn't have very much self-control. Maybe he thinks the darkness hides his face a little bit. But even with your 12, you definitely see what is a look of recognition and anger on his face when you mention this compatriot named Boo.
If I were to try to step up to the cart to be within touching range of it, what happens?
So, well, you'd have to probably move your full complement.
For sure.
Yeah, to get up
I'm
there.
willing to do that.
Yeah. So if that's what you're gonna do, we may have to roll initiative.
From around the corner, Sable will give like a seagull bird call since we're next to the dock.
Well, if you haven't seen him, perhaps you've seen our other friend, and I start to describe Sable.
And with that,
Oh yeah, we were supposed
Moxie
to be rolling.
might notice that there's a little bit of a, you don't have to unless that's what you're gonna do. So there's a little bit of a frown of frustration. You do hear this bird call. The guy seems to give no recognition that it's anything out of the ordinary. Like he just doesn't seem to care at all.
As the automaton's walking forward, I creep up to inspect the cart behind the automaton's back.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And behind the merchant's back.
Let's go ahead and let's do that. Let's roll for initiative just so we kind of have a movement order of some things.
18. My alert does offer me to swap initiative, but I think Augustus
Same.
does
I have a
too.
15. Does anybody want it?
I got a 6.
I got a tree.
Do you want to keep Moxie at a 3?
But if swapping, that means you take a 3, and that's not.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. Moxie, go ahead.
So, Sable, you can go ahead and try to slip out there and touch the cart. The automaton's continuing to pull this cart along. Go right ahead if you want.
So my initial stealth had been 22, so I'm gonna creep up to the cart behind the back of the automaton and the merchant. And you said there's like a cover over it?
Yes, there is.
Bigger than a wheelbarrow, but not like so big.
Yeah, it's probably
Okay.
like 3 feet wide, 5 feet long.
Okay, so I just kind of want to mess with like the tarp a little.
Okay.
To see if I can take a look in there.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to be nailed down necessarily or anything like that. You lift it up, and as a half elf, you have some dark vision as well. You clearly see 6 children laying like down cordwood style there in the thing.
To the kids, I'm going to put a finger up to my mouth to tell them to be quiet.
You just see big eyes of like, and a new face. They don't know. They don't move.
Okay.
So it's kind of a move and an action.
Yeah. And still keeping in the dark on the side of the cart. Do you want another stealth from me?
Yeah, go ahead. Give us one more stealth.
So natural 20 for a 27.
The automaton rolled a 3. The other gentleman rolled an 8.
I think I'll do another bird call, kind of like throwing my voice a little. The seagull sounds a little bit angry now.
As Moxie starts to walk up to this gentleman with the sour face and his clothes, he's more finely dressed than perhaps should fit.
Does it seem like he's trying to be hoity-toity, but he's really just the hoi polloi, or does it seem like they're actually his clothes?
Go ahead, roll me like a perception check or
Insight, maybe?
insight. Sure. That might work out really well.
8.
Yeah, you
Can't tell.
You can't really.
That's when I hear the
Tell.
angry seagull, and I'm...
Yeah, you get distracted.
I get distracted.
You get distracted just a little bit. He's got short blonde hair. He just has this ugly, frustrated, angry look on his face. As you start walking up, he does raise the hand crossbow and say, I don't care if you're trying to steal us, them, stuff, whatever. You just get away. Just back up.
Did he say still them?
Yeah.
Dead.
Moxie's gonna walk up just barely within 5 feet of him. So there's still a little bit of space, but where he definitely could hit me if he really wanted to. But I'm hoping that this crossbow is also kind of bulky. And I hear an angry seagull, so I think Moxie would interpret that as keep his attention. So she's going to look at him and say, you know, a nicely dressed fella like you shouldn't be in a neighborhood like this. Don't you have any servants to do this kind of work for you? You know, I've got a lovely young man looking for a job. He could definitely do something like this for you, and just kind of talk to him. And a nice guy like you shouldn't be holding weapons. That's not a nice thing to do. I think we can resolve this without violence. And she is going to cast a spell, and we'll see if it works. So she's going to cast Charm Person, and it is a 13 Wisdom save.
Okay.
Let's see if I can.
Natural 20. So you move up, you talk a little bit, you cast a spell.
He does know that I tried to do that. That is part of the spell.
So it just happens to be our bad guy's turn, and he backs up from where he is at the back of the cart, goes around to put kind of the cart between, goes up to the front of the cart near the automaton servant thing, and...
Do I get an opportunity attack?
Oh, do you have one?
I said I grabbed a dagger on the way out of the bar. That is a thing that I
Do you
said
have
that
a
I
weapon
did.
drawn? I don't think you have a
No.
weapon drawn.
Could I
So-
try to punch him?
You can try to punch him if you want to. If that
Just
doesn't work, go
try
try
an
to punch
unarmed
him.
strike
Yeah,
here.
try an unarmed strike if you want to take a swing at him.
An 18.
Oh, so yes, that surprises him, and you hit him. You're able to hit him in the face, perhaps,
We were 1 bludgeoning damage.
or the shoulder. So, boom. There you go. 1 point of bludgeoning damage. Now, with a little more intensity, he backs up to the front of the cart on the other side of it and fires the hand crossbow at you. I am assuming that a 13 misses.
13 is my armor class.
2 points with a hand crossbow. And then he says, Geary, defend. That makes it Elias Stone.
That was totally uncool. So
Hey, you shot my friend. My new favorite bartender.
let's move me right in front of. There we go.
So moving forward up the street, right to the back of the cart.
in front of Moxie. He took damage.
He did.
1
1 point of
All I
bludgeoning damage to
need.
the shoulder. Oh no.
Toll the dead. Oh, that guy. I need a, yeah. Well, of course, he still has to fail it, otherwise it's nothing at all. Wisdom save.
An 18 on the
Oh,
die.
easily, yeah.
So this
He's
guy
very wise, this
are stubborn or yeah. So
goon.
Then, yes, I'm just going to hold here and just kind of be a shield for Moxie.
August E. Graymore,
So,
You're
5,
about
10,
25
15,
feet
20,
away.
25, 30.
right up next to the back of the cart.
And I glare. Are you fully there? We
I'm fully
all
there.
see you?
You don't see me,
What?
but I'm there.
Okay. Conversation's over. He shot at
Yeah.
Moxie.
Yeah.
So, turn.
That brings us to the automaton. This mix of wood and metal drops its hold on the extended handles of the dog cart that he was pulling it with, and then steps around in front of this well-dressed gentleman and then stands there. That brings us to Moxie again. Oh no, wait, that brings us to Sable again.
So, seeing the opportunity of the automaton moving to where he thinks he's going to protect his boss, I'm going to slip behind the merchant, draw my rapier, and attack.
Okay.
With that stealth, I have advantage. 16 to hit,
Yes, that hits.
11 piercing damage.
Oof, man. If Sable has been anything, it has been deadly, and you just catch him right underneath the ribs. It goes in deep. He's still standing, but holy moly, is he looking hurt.
Okay. And then offhand attack with my dagger. A 15.
Again, yes.
Okay. 4 points of damage.
And would you like this to be lethal or non-lethal?
Lethal.
Okay. Lethal. Describe your kill.
All right, so with the rapier straight through the back, and then take the dagger and just across the neck, pushing his body away from the rapier.
August Elias, you clearly see like just this thin line and then this gush of blood on the front of this guy's neck, and then he falls down to the ground. Moxie, anything?
Does the automaton look like he's gonna do something?
It's very hard for you to tell. You may not be super familiar with
Automatons?
A voice command got him to attack. Maybe a voice command will get him to.
Or you could always hold your action.
Here,
if you
well, here's
want.
what I'm gonna do, because I just saw Sable absolutely murk this guy. I'm gonna run up to the other side of the cart,
Going along the side opposite where you'd be coming
Yes.
in kind of behind Sable.
opposite of where the automaton is standing, and I'm gonna throw the tarp back.
Okay. And then you see what Sable saw earlier. There are 6 children laid cordwood style, and they are just huddled together. Their hands are clenched up around by their chins, and there's big, wide eyes.
Are they tied up?
No, they're just
Okay.
laying there.
Good. Don't worry, kids. It's gonna be all right. We're gonna get you somewhere safe.
Roll me a persuasion.
Gosh, an 11.
Yeah. You know that they heard you. You can tell by the way their eyes dart around, but they don't move at all. Our merchant is out of commission. That brings us up to Mr. Elias. She flipped the tarp back enough, you can at least see 3 or 4 of the kids.
I'm also going to just walk up. I mean, I'm there at the cart. So
move along.
give myself a little guidance on persuasion and say, it's okay, kids. We've got you. We're going to take good care of you. 13.
Slightly better. Maybe their hands kind of come down off of their chins just a tiny bit, but they still aren't moving. And their eyes look around a little bit more, trying to gauge the situation, but still no real response from them. That brings us up to August E. Graymore.
August E. Graymore will shift over 1 square. Automaton. Geary, I command you to stand down.
And the thing turns its head, and you see these iris-geared eyes kind of focus and close, and then reset, and just stands.
Geary, come stand by me for a moment.
It doesn't move.
I'll keep an eye on Geary. Let's push this cart away a little bit. Nice and easy.
You were saying that to the group, right?
Yes.
Yeah, as a suggestion. Geary, the automaton, doesn't move, and we're back up to the top of the round.
I will head to the arms of the cart and kind of see the kids in there, and once again I'll put my finger up to my lip, the motion that I did to them earlier, and try and move the cart.
Sure. Go ahead, give me a strength check.
Okay.
I think it's gonna have to be you grab one arm, I grab another.
Yeah. All right. We'll see. A 4.
They're underfed, but they're very heavy children.
Well, there's 6 of them in a cart.
Sable tries just to grab one arm, and it's very hard to lift up the cart with one arm. To lift up, to get it back.
It was being lifted by an
balance.
automaton. So, yes.
Moxie, anything you want to do?
My first thought was, to have me and Dr. Stone pull the cart and have August and Sable kind of watch our six.
Yeah.
Hey, Dr. Stone, you don't look very strong.
Actually, I am very strong.
Oh, is that what happened to the sleeves of your coats?
No, I'm wiry, but I'm strong. So
Well, why don't you grab one arm, I grab the other, and then Sable and August can keep a wary eye out for any other merchants.
I think that's an excellent idea.
Moxie will move to the front of the cart and grab one of the arms.
Can I say Sable after the attempt just kind of steps back?
100%, yeah, of course.
And then also with my bonus action, I'm gonna give Bardic to Sable.
It's okay, Sable, honey, you tried.
Elias gonna try to.
Yes, so we'll get up
Okay.
there. Do I need to move, like roll to move
yeah.
everything out of the way? What do you want, strength check?
Yeah, go
Advantage?
ahead. Roll a little strength check.
We'll do advantage since I have help from
Yeah, that's
yeah.
a much better way to do it.
And you go ahead, you do too, with advantage.
21.
Oh, ho, ho.
A 14?
Together, I mean, it's awesome. It's very easy for you guys to pop that back up to the fulcrum of the cart, and you could begin to start to pull it forward here in a moment. August, you're keeping an eye on this automaton, I assume.
I'm gonna hold.
Yes. We'll come out of initiative for the moment to just kind of describe, so you guys start pulling the cart away.
So as we go, I just wanted to talk kind of loudly, not like yelling, but loud enough for the kids to hear me, to Dr. Stone and be like,
I think these Elisa and Deke can help these kids get straightened up at the Siren Song. Elisa and Deke are our new friends. I'm glad that they trusted us because we're so trustworthy.
I think they'd make some really good friends for these young people as well.
You hear one of the children go, "Eek."
Oh yeah, Deke's staying with me for a while.
He's okay.
Yeah, he and Elisa, they're safe and sound over at the Siren Song.
And you see a different child sit up, and then they start moving just a little bit. We thought he was eaten by sharks.
He did tell us about the sharks. But no, he's safe and sound. His bowl full of stew. I had a bath today. He's doing great.
Now, like, all the kids are like sitting up in the cart when you say stew.
So, what is your name?
I'm Tomias.
Do you guys know Tomas and Lila?
And then one of the kids taps Tomias and then whispers in, and Tomias says, "They know Deke, the ones from the orphanage."
Right.
Oh, yeah.
So, did you guys come from the fishery?
Long pause, and then they're like, "Yes.
Okay. Why were you being taken in a cart?
We're doing the night work."
All right. So, could you point us to where you came from?
Well, the fishery just, like, right back down that way, points the way you guys were headed. And then all the way down by the water. It's the old one.
While they're talking with the kids, I want to check over the guy I just killed, see if he's got anything important on him.
Roll me a little mini initiative. Roll me a die 20 and let
Okay.
me know what your modifier is.
19 plus 5.
Okay, you start looking through his stuff and you find that he has what appears to be a wand and 3 vials of a greenish liquid, the hand crossbow and some bolts, but perhaps the other thing is there's a ring of keys. He's got a dagger as well.
I will take the keys off of him and pocket everything else. Can I do a quick inspection of the liquid in the vial?
Yeah,
Mainly see if it looks like some type of poison.
okay. As you're like holding that up and looking at it, August, you notice that the automaton whirls and starts to turn around. Since you were holding your action, would you like to do anything to interrupt that?
I will yell careful to the others, and I will take a step towards it, bump my blade against its shoulder to just remind them I'm there.
It doesn't appear to be paying you any mind whatsoever as you do that. It takes a step forward toward Sable, and then Sable, you realize that there's something in my vision, and it reaches out and tries to grab at your hand, but you are able to move your hand out of the way. It misses as it kind of leans in to grab at you.
You were in the looting? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't think it's just protecting, it's just doing what it knows.
Can I do maybe some sort of check to see what I know about automatons and like maybe their commands?
Oh, yes. Anyone who grew up in Ironspire can make me a bit of a history check if you by chance happen to have something else you might think work. Arcana is kind of involved.
I do have Arcana. I do work with automatons.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I
Be
do.
a random chance.
Constructs and
But
stuff.
you might have heard about them in Colorado.
18.
17.
I'm using the Bardic for 18.
Okay.
I got a
So-
15 Arcana.
August, as you see that it didn't respond, that maybe that was not overriding and things like that, you know these type of very basic, this is like the lowest level of automaton that Ironspire has. You know that they are often operated by some type of key that you insert and then can like command them on and off along those lines. And Sable, one of those keys is a brass and copper melded key that you see, and maybe the brain goes click.
As I pull away from Geary, I'll quickly pocket the vial and take off the brass one and throw it at August. You don't want to kill this thing? You control it now.
Make me a dex check to see if you catch this.
How about athletics?
Yeah, sure.
18.
Like a pro.
Yeah.
And roll me a quick perception check.
8.
So it's very, very low. You don't see it, but you know from your 18 knowledge check that somewhere between the shoulder blades of this thing is probably like a keyhole, an entry point for that key.
Okay, well, I'll spend time if I need to, just tapping the key against them while I'm looking for it.
There we go. And we will find out if we have any success next time.
Red Dirt D&D Curse of the Clockwork City is Brooke Bullock as our Dungeon Master, Kiri Hester as Moxie, Connor Shenold as Sable, Johnny Payne as August E. Graymore, and I'm Michael Cross as Dr. Elias Stone. Our theme music comes from Ovani Sound. Our sound effects and additional music courtesy of Jeffrey McBride, Monument Studios, Describe.com, and TabletopAudio.com. Dice for the Red Dirt D&D cast provided by ST Way Gaming. You can find us at reddirtdnd.com. If you are enjoying Red Dirt D&D, make sure to subscribe, rate us, and leave a comment. Also, tell your friends about Red Dirt D&D. You can also support the show at patreon.com/reddirtdnd at whatever giving level works best for you. Join us next time as we discover more secrets in the Clockwork City.